Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. It's from a guy, sounds like probably at the earliest, he's probably in his mid to late 40s, latest probably 50s, because he doesn't say. Married for 23 years, and he is now in the process of initiating a divorce. Why is he initiating a divorce? Because he found out that his wife, who's a teacher, is having a fling with another teacher. And pretty much this all started with spending late nights with this other teacher, female teacher, and then her hypothetically joking around about a potential threesome-thing in open marriage, kid you not. And finally when reality sets in, and this guy's going through a tough one right now. But here's the thing. This guy has been watching me since I started. He's been watching our pill content since 2019. It's helped him become aware of things. And thanks to that content, as well as my channel, that helped him see through a lot of the crap that a lot of guys would have noticed, and helped him to understand the reality of the situation. He has to end things. So it goes to show, for you guys that watch this all the time, by listening to these stories, real life situations, and not just from me, but other good channels, other good guys out there that provide good information. Not the only game in town. It can help guys spot things in the early stages to save them years of affairs going on behind the scenes. It can help guys have the strength to stand up for themselves, do what they got to do. So it's really, when you guys send in your stories and share with the world, it helps other guys out. So that when situation arises, they can handle it as best as possible, even though nobody's going to handle things perfectly. So that'd be going to go over here. And also because this guy needs our help. He's going through a really tough one, 23 years of marriage, couple kids. He's going through a tough time. So him sharing this is therapy for him. And hopefully we can all together offer some advice and encouragement to get through this tough time. And that's what we're here for. So that's why I'm covering this one today. It says, hello SSM. I've been a long-time listener to your channel and have learned a lot since the beginning of the R path in 2019. While I've been married, I've also become aware and keeping an eye out for signs. Good, bro. You got to do that. And thanks to this content, you obviously have known what to look out for, as we're about to see. So here's my story. I've been married for 23 years to what I thought, keyword what I thought, was a moving and faithful wife. Until recently, there weren't any red flags. Enter who we'll call HW. My soon-to-be ex-wife works in childcare. In October, they hired a new teacher who didn't have a car or money for Uber every night. We see where this is going. She doesn't have, okay, fine, maybe she doesn't have a car. Maybe she lived in the city. But she doesn't even have money for Uber. At first, I was okay with my wife driving this other person home. It was a woman, so I wasn't alerted. Trips home became longer as she had a lot on her plate. My wife's good nature and kind heart drove her to help her. I didn't start getting suspicious until the end of October when the trips were longer. Her getting home at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and she talking to the lady on the phone at night. I don't care whether it's a dude or a chick, you as a husband need to lay down the law. And obviously he's noticing she's coming home later and later at night, and she's not here with me, her family, and our kids. Now, one of their kids is older, obviously, but one is still younger. No, not cool. And that's when you got to lay down the freaking law. And obviously, something's up. She claimed that she was a good friend. I was suspicious, but wanted to support her as she was going through a major bout of depression. Yeah, don't let that there's being supportive, and there's being the point where you're being taken advantage of. And something's up. School, if I'm not mistaken, school ends before 3. And I know teachers stay after homework and papers and miscellaneous shit, but still. Getting home at 8:30 at night, where the fuck does she live? 3 hours away? One time while spending time together, she joked about a threesome or an open marriage. Red flag. Believe me, that wasn't a joke. Women use these things like jokes or bringing these things up to test the waters. Right then and there, you got a problem, man. She joked before and knows I'm not up for it either. My suspicions were highly alerted, but I made the decision to keep an eye on her. Between all of her being gone all the time and showing up later and later, and now she's bringing this thing up, bro, that was the time to have a very, very serious, direct conversation with her. And if she actually said, I want to have an open marriage, open relationship, that's would have been like, get the fuck out of here. She was testing the waters amongst the other things she was doing. Then came December. So as in December, as in this month, guys. She comes home late as usual, except when she goes to hug me, she does it from behind and doesn't look me in the eyes. You know, every girlfriend I ever had, guys, when she sees me, wants to hug me so she can look at me. So if she doesn't want to look you in the eyes, it means she can't look you in the eyes for some reason. She doesn't do it the following morning either. I flat asked her that night if she was cheating. She denied it and claimed that I didn't look at her in the eyes. Of course she's going to deny it. Then comes the weekend. HW, again this is the woman here, ends up in the hospital for some issues and my wife goes with her. While there, HW takes her phone and starts sending me messages flirting with me. What the fuck? Have you met this chick? Then my wife tells me that HW is bisexual and wants an exclusive threesome. And this is the part that is over. Because now she's telling you she wants, obviously your wife is having craving for the filet fish sandwich, and this is where things have been going, what's really been going on behind the scenes. She's cheating. It's over. For some stupid reason, I say sure. Smack! Dude, unless you and your wife's marriage was built upon doing that sort of thing, which I think is a boneheaded idea, no. This is a terrible idea. And her bringing this up, she wants the best of both worlds. You there as her husband, and more importantly, bringing in a paycheck, and she can go off and have fun with, her girlfriend. While I didn't engage in any sex with HW, the nights were late. Our kids were wondering where their mother was, and she hadn't interacted with them for close to 2 months. That is terrible. Her first priority is to you and your children, the family, not her little fling and all that bullshit. She's a bad fucking mother. Bro, it should have been over with right then and there. And I know how this is going to go. My suspicions are running my anxiety into orbit, and I start talking a follow-up dose of my medication. Upon using Forrester, I also return back to the gym to begin working on myself. Well, that's good. You should always be working on yourself. You should also be talking to a lawyer who's cheating on you. At one point, my wife promises that she'll be home on time. She left early with HW, but specifically hit traffic. Knowing the bridge, traffic can suck. Until I got an engine code on the tool we have in both cars. It provides monitoring, Wi-Fi in the car, etc. I noticed they parked in a parking lot and have been there for 40 minutes. Oh, what could they be doing? The text I received from HW said they were still in traffic. I knew this was a bold lie. I play along with plans to confront my wife when she got home. It's about time, my man. I'm sorry you're going through this. You've been married 23 years and you said no red flags and you thought everything was great. Have children together. At 8:45, she finally comes home. They sat in the spot for over an hour. My mind is already feeding me images of my stupidity as the goal that we also not go solo. When she gets home, she tries to play it off. Of course she did. Because if she doesn't make a big deal of it, then it's not a big deal. If the situation was reversed, believe me, she'd be making a big deal. I tell her flat out, I'm going to ask a question and I advise you carefully to think on the answer. She takes the how dare you approach until I show her the evidence. I ask her if she did anything with her the night and she refused to look at me. She did. I tell her I need to think. Nothing you need to think about, man. The only thing you need to think about is which lawyer you're going to choose to end this. A few minutes later, I get a slew of worried texts from HW apologizing and claiming she had something going on and begged my soon-to-be ex not to tell. I was pissed and hurt. This HW is playing you, my man. She doesn't give a shit about you. She's after your wife. And your wife's after her and vice versa. Your wife is no longer the person you knew or you never knew her. And I don't want to hear the waterworks and how she made a mistake or she's so sorry or any other bullshit coming from the Hobag handbook here. Now, that weekend we tried to get together. I was basically the third wheel looking like a simp. I questioned my wife and said I need to ignore the looks. My anxiety was skyrocketing. Smack! Why the hell are you still spending time with her and her Hobag lover? Throughout the night, I barely slept. I wake up with shakes, a product of high anxiety, and that sickened a knot in my stomach. That morning around 6:45, I woke up and decided to hit the gym and prep on bettering myself for what was to come. She's awake, and when I come back to the room and ask if I'm okay. I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I asked, do you love her? And she says, yes. Then I asked her, do you still love me? And she says, Yes. No. She has lust, or she's in love with the freaking girl, HW, and you are there to bring the paycheck, be the father of her kids. I follow up with another question asked, do you love me as something more than a father of our kids, as a husband and a lover? And she says no. There you go. I knew this was coming, so I tell her I can't be part of that. She asks, what do I mean? And I tell her I want a divorce. Praise the Lord. About time. Now, I get you're heartbroken, and I get that because you've been together so long, you're trying to, benefit of the doubt and all that. I really can get that. But since you said you've been watching me since 2019, and this has happened, 2020, when I started on YouTube, hearing all 2,500 stories between all three channels, if you watch them all, you know darn well where this is all going to go, And I'm sorry after all these years, but you know what? I forget if you said how old you are, but if you're married 23 years, I'm assuming no younger than mid-40s, no later than 50s, you still got plenty of life to live, my man. And you don't have to be with someone like that to treat you that way. And this also shows, guys, I might interject here, that you can have a gal that seemingly was a great wife all those years, and like that can change. I also told her that it was her responsibility to tell the kids. This was Sunday, a few days ago, on December 10th, and she told our 20-year-old who connected the dots. She was betrayed and crushed. Yeah, let her tell the kids, but I'd make sure you were there. Don't let her change the story to make her look a lot better. It was a rough day. My stoic nature was defeated. I cried without tears. My daughter helped me get a mattress and sheets so I could move into our living room. Why are you moving into the living room? Why isn't she moving into the living room? Smack! I don't think so. And since you're getting divorced, well, she can pack her bags and go live with HW. I immediately reached out to the few friends I had and my sister. On December 11th, I go to work, and after following a friend's advice, I drive there, and it says here, our 13-year-old is having a hard time. So I text my assistant principal and said we had a rough weekend and we were running late. Oh, so you're a teacher too. What I thought I could handle became hard. During a quiz during my first period, I was helping my ESE students with the test and had to keep turning away to get rid of the tears. Feeling it was getting too much, I glanced at my para, who nods as she had it. I step into my supply area and silently cry. Last tune I did when I lost my dad in 2015. Bro, there's no shame here, and I'm sorry you're hurting. Just don't let your wife see the tears. But you got to hold it together, because even though you have a 20-year-old daughter, you also have I think you said a 13-year-old. Got to stay strong for them. I asked the administration to be okay if I could call for someone to take over throughout the day to compose myself. At one point, our school resource officer pulls me aside and asks me what's wrong, as he could see it. I fill him in and take a moment to compose myself. After a dismissal, I chat with the AP that I called earlier and let her know. She asked why I was there and told me to take a mental health day on the 12th. My friend, you need a mental health month. And I might add, this is all going down right before Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, or if you celebrate Hanukkah or any of the important holidays, it's kind of a family time. Last time I checked, it's terrible. This is going down now. I thanked her, and she said that to let them. She said let them if they could help as a family. That night, she sends me resources we have as district employees for therapists and legal services. Prior to that, I did reach out to an attorney and have begun the process. I utilized my friend circle, and that night I get a call from the soon-to-be ex-wife telling me at 8:20 that HW's roommates had a check sent to the P.O. box in our neighboring city an hour away and asked if I'm okay with that. I tell her that I didn't know what she wanted me to say. What? Am I missing something here? I told her to drive safe. She says, I love you, but I can't bring myself to respond. Bullshit. What an asshole. She's having an affair. She says she loves the other person. Oh, but I love you too. And she just expects you to just go along. But clearly her perception of you is that you will. Close to midnight, she finally gets home and retires to the bedroom. Our eldest is more upset that she didn't bother to check in on the kids. She claims she thought that they were asleep. She also been saying that she didn't want this to happen. Oh my God, they always say that. I didn't want this to happen. It was a mistake. Our eldest is disgusted by her. Our youngest knows we're separating, but not why. Her mother is equally disgusted that she ruined our family of 23 years for a few months of a fling. I doubt she's as respected at her job as management now knows. So your daughter, 20 years old, is disgusted with her. And let me tell you, I've seen these daughters who they find out what their mother's doing and what they're doing to the dad, and these daughters become like pit bulls guarding their dad. Your oldest is never gonna forgive her. Oh, I can imagine the fights. And I'm glad to hear that your mother-in-law, her mother, is disgusted with her too. Good. But we all know how this is going to go, guys, because things aren't going to work out HW. And when this guy shows he means business and divorces her, she'll be back begging and pleading. It was a mistake. That shit. Nope. It's over. A smart man would say I deserved it. Probably do. I looked at an attempt to control the situation as I damn well knew what she'd do if I didn't. This is early in the process. I'm still hurt and angry, but I've been refocusing on myself and my kids. I've been hitting the gym nightly, and my daughters switch out. She's seen the results of her actions, and I feel they're really going to bite her in the ass. They are going to bite her in the ass. They already are biting her in the ass. But the other day, she's going to follow her feelings and how she feels in the moment, and her lust. That's more important than your years together, the kids. This is why the girls always go for the bad boys and chase them, the criminals and the scumbags and the lowlives, because of the way they make them feel. And they'll blame it on how they're feeling. I can't emphasize that enough, because that's how they always say, it's how I feel. I'm in one of those moods this morning. I've been keeping logs on her being out and spending time with the kids for the past 2 months. I'm looking at getting together with a friend of mine this weekend and another for a doggy play date. I have an appointment on Friday to meet with my attorney. I don't hate my soon-to-be ex. She's my kid's mom. But whatever I felt for her is gone. I hope to send an update on this. While I never wanted this to happen, I'm thankful for your content is to better prepare me for dealing with the signs and take the initiative. Take care, JP. Well, my man, I'm sorry you're going through this shit. And, I know obviously we're going to get some updates of what's going on here, but you try to give her the benefit of the doubt, even though you knew darn well deep down as a man, and also learning things from my channel and other channels, what was really going on here. The second she was out all the time and things seemed suspicious, and then her hypothetically joking about the open marriage relationship thing, 3-somethings, it's over. And I'm sorry you're going through this, but you know what? You got a whole community here, guys, that are going to support you, have your back, offer you suggestions and tips. They're guys that have been through this shit in one form or another. They got your back, that will comment on this video here and help you out. And you got to take it one day at a time, but do not take her back. It's over, okay? And I promise you, when you go to the divorce attorney and she gets served, reality is going to set in real quick for her. That her life ain't going to be so easy. And then she'll be back begging and pleading that she's so sorry and it was a mistake and I'll never see HW again. And you can look at my phone and you can monitor my social media and I'll never do girls' nights. All the things that you've all heard more times than I could possibly count in the stories I've covered on this channel and the other channels. Don't do it. Because all it's going to do is communicate to her that she can do all this shit, cheat on you, hurt you, betray your family, and you'll take her back. And then she'll be off to do the races with HW or some other young chick down the road. I'm assuming HW's young. So she has a thing for young fish fillet sandwich. Her little craving for the fish fillet sandwich. I can't resist. Anyway, guys, I'll keep an eye on this guy, see how he's doing, and has some further updates. So, sir, hang in there, take it one day at a time, and keep hitting the gym. You'll feel better, or feel better than you would be if you didn't hit the gym. Stay close to your daughters. Let your daughters know that you love them. You got their back. Hire yourself a shark, a she shark of an attorney. Get a female attorney, because they won't buy the bullshit coming from her. And go from there. And I hope it goes. It's gonna be tough. And in the end, even though you didn't do anything wrong, unless you're in a at-fault divorce state, you're going to feel a bite of this divorce, but it's better being with someone like that. And remember, you're going to be inclined also, I know I keep talking here, guys, but I got to say what's on my mind here. You're going to be very tempted to focus on who you thought she was. She'll be thinking of all the good times and the memories and the vacations and the Christmas mornings or Hanukkah celebrations, or whatever you celebrate, birthdays, anniversaries, all that. That's not her anymore, or that's not who she was anyway, And then one has to question, Is this her first rodeo? Has there been other things going on in the past you just never were aware of it? You know, you have to question all these things. And what other things she lying about? So I think it's best to cut ties, and you're going to be okay. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let this guy know what you think. This guy's really going through a tough one, guys. He's hurting. Please offer him some advice. If you've been down this path before with a divorce or separation or cheating, offer him some hope. Give him some tips on how to, things I haven't thought of to help him get through this whole thing, because he really could use it. That's what we're here for. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.